Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are giving you the ultimate guide to Koh Tao.
We are going to be covering where to stay, where to eat, what activities to do, and so much more. So make sure you stick around.
So let's jump straight into it. Getting to this island is actually pretty simple. The two main ways of getting here are via boat from Koh Samui or Surat Thani. The boats roughly take a couple of hours, and when you arrive on Koh Tao Island, you have to pay 20 baht per person just to get in, as an island tax.
In terms of accommodation, you can stay pretty much anywhere on this island as long as you've got a bike to get around. However, the most accessible places to stay is Mayhad Pier or Seri Beach. Here you have access to all shops, restaurants and booking excursions.
We stayed in two different areas of Koh Tao. For the first week we stayed in the south, and for the second week we decided to go right in the mix and stay at the top of Seri Beach. We found that when we were staying in the south for the first week, we needed our scooter to get around absolutely everywhere. But staying where we are now on our second week here in Seri Beach, we have hardly used the scooter because we've been able to walk everywhere, which has been great. Also worth noting about accommodation is that when we've been trying to book our hotels, we found that the ratings on booking.com are extremely low. We've then actually gone to visit some of these hotels and they actually look fine. The pools look great, the area looks fine, so we're a little bit unsure as to why that may be, but that's just something to consider when you're booking your hotel on this island.
By far the best and cheapest way to get around this island is by bike.
Yep, that's right. Your average scooter here on Koh Tao Island will cost you anywhere from 200 to 300 baht per day. And we've got a couple of taxis here before we picked up our scooter, and just from the top of Seri Beach to the pier, which isn't very far at all, it's 300 or 400 baht total just for that one journey. So the cost savings you would have by hiring yourself a scooter is quite large actually on this island. So to give you an example of the taxi costs here on Koh Tao, we've had to get a taxi from the pier back to the main centre of Seri Beach because we've just dropped our bike back. We're leaving this island tomorrow, which is very sad. But this taxi cost us 300 baht one way. So that was 100 baht more than hiring the bike that we just had for an entire 24 hours. So that shows you how much taxis can be on this little island.
Right now, on to food. We are currently sat in the factory, which is one of our favourite places here in Koh Tao. I have got myself some chocolate chip pancakes, delicious, and a chocolate brownie shake, which is very good. The variety of food here on Koh Tao Island with the restaurants is just absolutely incredible. I think we were both shocked to see how much variety there is. They cater for vegan, gluten-free, all of the dietary requirements, which is great. And prices-wise, it's actually quite reasonable. It's maybe not as cheap as in northern Thailand, but it's definitely cheaper than places like Koh Phangan. Just over here, we've added a list of all our favourite restaurants here in Koh Tao.
So now let's move on to activities. One of the most famous and popular things to do on Koh Tao Island is scuba diving. This island is the cheapest place in the world, we are told, to do your paddy course. So if that's something that you haven't done yet, highly recommend coming to this island to check that out. They have some of the best diving in the world here, and there is literally a diving shop every other building on this little island. And if diving isn't your thing, just like the two of us, you can book one of the snorkeling tours that goes around the entire Koh Tao Island and do some incredible snorkeling on that tour. You can also just go snorkeling straight off the many beaches around this island as well and see some incredible fish, and also you might be lucky to see a shark and a turtle. Other activities on this island include paddleboarding, kayaking, and one of our favourite ones is getting massages right on the beach, just like you can do here. One of the other activities on this island is the hiking. Now, there are a lot of viewpoints because this island is pretty mountainous, and so we'd highly recommend checking those out, especially at sunset. And to finish on activities, nightlife. They have an incredible nightlife here on Koh Tao Island, including what they said one of Asia's biggest pub crawls, which we did a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you, it was a lot of fun. If you're planning on working here whilst you're in Koh Tao, just like the two of us, then the many cafes along Seri Beach have really good Wi-Fi, just like this one that I'm sat in now. One quick thing though that's important to note if you are coming to work on Koh Tao Island. Because the island is so small, and when it gets very hot here, the generators can completely cut out, meaning the Wi-Fi is gone. We've had that happen a couple of times, which has lasted about an hour each time. right when I've had some meetings at some point as well, so that can be quite annoying, and just something to know if you're planning on coming here to do some work. Now, we've worked on many islands in Thailand now, and I would say that Koh Tao actually ranks quite low on the list, just because, as I said, the generator can completely cut out and the Wi-Fi can be non-existent. But also I have an eSIM, and even this phone signal here is quite weak. I mean, it is a remote island in Thailand, so what do you expect? But if you're coming to work, I would probably recommend going somewhere like Koh Samui or Phuket, which is the mainland in Thailand. And also I found this co-working space called Koh Tao Hub. 24/7 access is 400 baht for a day and 1,500 baht for a week. I've worked here for a couple of days now, and it's been really strong Wi-Fi. And they have air conditioning. I just wanted to mention a quick tip and shout out, to be fair, to Tao Hub, is that when I came here I didn't actually have a scooter. So the lady here actually rents out scooters herself, and she gave me this 160cc scooter, which is usually 300 to 350 baht anywhere on the island, for 200 baht per day, which is ridiculous price. So shout out to Tao Hub, really cool place. It seems like family run, which is nice as well. And yeah, check them out if you come to Koh Tao. To round off this video, we want to conclude our opinions into negatives and positives. So let's start with the negatives.
So first up, if you're not into diving or being in the water, there's probably not too much to do here, as this island is focused around the marine life.
Our second negative point about Koh Tao Island is that the taxis here are very expensive. So if you don't ride a scooter, be prepared to pay quite a bit of money during your time just on taxis, especially if you're staying out of the area of Seri Beach.
Third negative is hotels. We found it was quite difficult to find nice hotels on this island. It's probably the one thing that we think this island is missing.
And lastly, the fact that you have to pay to enter some of the beaches, we put that on the negative list just because it was something that we didn't expect when we arrived here. And actually the first beach that we ever went to, we didn't even have cash. So we had to turn around and go find some cash just to get onto the beach. So we put that as a negative. But go check out our last video where we review all of the top beaches on Koh Tao.
So now on to the many positives of this island. First up has to be the people. The people are so friendly, so nice, and what we have found is that they're not pushy at all like in other places in Thailand. They're not trying to get your money, they're very chilled and just very laid back.
The second positive of this island is the incredible sunsets. A few days ago we saw probably our best sunset that we've ever seen in our entire life right here on Seri Beach. The fact that it's accessible, you don't have to drive anywhere or even hike anywhere, just to see the sunset is a real big positive.
Third is the food. The food we have eaten on this island has been incredible. We said the other day we don't think we've had one bad meal since we've been here, so that is definitely on the positive list.
Next on the list is the incredible snorkeling. We've seen so many different kinds of fish, we've seen a couple of sharks, we've seen turtles. This is just snorkeling off of the beaches around this island. So even if you're not into diving, the snorkeling here right off the beach is incredible and some of the best we've ever been to. And in summary, the whole island just gives off a positive vibe. The people, the feel, not only the people that live here, but the people that travel here as well. The whole island just has a real positive, uplifting vibe, and it's easy to see why so many people get trapped here and end up staying here for many months.
Now just to finalise, we've got a couple of recommendations for you. So my recommendation would be, if you don't dive or you're not planning on doing your dive course, you probably only need about 4 days here. If you are doing your dive course, maybe a week, maybe longer, just so you've done your dive course, which is usually 3 days, and then you have time to enjoy the island as well.
And my recommendation, as we've mentioned many times in this video already, is to hire a scooter when you get here if you can. And most importantly, make sure you wear a helmet. We have been in this island for 2 weeks now, and we have seen so many people covered in bandages, and we've seen a couple of people fall off bikes as well. So a lot of people don't wear helmets here, but we highly recommend that you do. And of course, hiring a scooter will be your cheapest and fastest way to get around this beautiful island. So that summarizes the entire video. If you found it valuable, drop us a like down below. Also, drop us a comment. If you've ever been to Koh Tao, let us know some of your favorite spots. And if you're coming to Koh Tao, let us know if you've got any more questions. We'll be happy to answer them.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Peace.